if you look at our crypto section, show the crypto because it's really interesting, because crypto is very macro driven. So what we built there is a macro model for crypto, which can also be allocated to a lot of the other assets, right? Although it works really
Interesting.
well for crypto, but is really it could also work well for other assets. So we call it the risk on and off indicator. So think about what happens when we see a crisis like COVID hit, right? Everybody's selling the most risky assets, so stocks, crypto, emerging market asset, and then they sell the more liquid ones, gold, treasuries. So when we had like COVID, uh, every asset was going down, even if they were inverse correlated to the stock market, not because correlation, but because everybody was liquidating the most liquid things that they had. So those are gold, treasury, and of course the stock assets and crypto, right? Um, so what we have here is we have an indicator that tells you when we are coming into a risk on, which is good for crypto, positive for crypto. So the macro environment is telling us that could be a good time to go into the crypto market because the macro supports it, or when we are in kind of like a risk off scenario, right? So now we are kind of bouncing here, but we on the risk on. So you can see how kind of like the level we went on a risk on, we saw this massive uptrend, risk off, we saw kind of like this massive kind of move here, and we moved kind of chopped a little bit, we saw another trend, and now we're kind of in a kind of, I think we're in a risk off, I believe. And then so that can tell you if again, gold reacts differently from crypto, of course, but this is kind
Right.
of the first kind of.
Yeah, I like that. I really had never made the connection that Bitcoin is macro driven. I
Yeah.
truly have not. That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so this kind of like is at the macro side. Again, if you are a crypto investor, crypto trader, like you want to know this, because if you are holding long-term position on Bitcoin and we suddenly go into like a very bearish environment, maybe Bitcoin will still go up eventually, but you could see a really massive drop. So when we remember
Right.
we dropped, I think 50-60%, and then of course went back up again. But
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity can come and can be captured. The second one is kind of the direction indicator. So again, we look at the macro level first, and then we look at the asset, and we want to see if we are in a bullish or bearish environment. So the risk on is for all the crypto market, whether you're trading stable coins or small coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum, the main ones. The direction is for the single asset, so you can see how Bitcoin direction moved. So you got this massive uptrend here, then you kind of got into that downtrend there. So here we were kind of dipping down. So you saw like how we were going low, and then we can go into the other cryptos. So if you want to look at Ethereum and all the others, so we have it all here. So this is the direction. We're still in a risk on scenario, although we are kind of approaching a risk off scenario.
Neutrality. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
are overall bearish on all these crypto assets. So the direction is telling us that we are kind of in a bearish kind of trend. Besides, we're still kind of like in a risk on macro environment, we're still bearish on the direction of the asset.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how are these ranked? How are these
You can rank them really.
oh, anyway, so how do they normally pop up?
I'm not sure. I think maybe it's alphabetical order.
Ah,
Let's
gotcha.
Yeah, and then you can kind of rank it by direction or
Mm-hmm.
performance. The
Mm-hmm.
performance right here. Uh,
Interesting.
then you can kind of go into the quant models there, but we also have option models. So we also have crypto derivatives options for the major currencies, so the major crypto. So if we go on Bitcoin, we can see, again, we can see our Q score. So we're kind of low momentum, kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
Even,
Decision zone for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
definitely decision zone.
you can kind of see the different models there. So we have
So
everything that we have for stocks for crypto as well.
I